Hello, beautiful. Welcome to the next episode of Messages from Heart and Soul. My name is Becky Shapiro. Normally, I channel my messages in advance for you, but right now I was strongly guided by my divine team to pull up my phone and start recording. So here we are. We're going to see what comes through. And what I'm hearing is love and light. So let's talk about what that means today. A lot of people throw that term around in the spiritual world. You'll hear light leaders, energy healers, psychics using the term on a regular basis. It's honestly not a phrase that I use very often. Maybe because it is vague and a little difficult to grasp. Let's start with love. We all know love to be an emotion, and it's a very high vibrational emotion. But we could also consider it to be an energy. I know that when I am working on clients or maybe family members and I'm sending them energy, sometimes I am specifically sending them the energy of love to help with their healing process. When you're working with an energy that is so high vibrational, it's incredibly expansive. And when I'm talking about expansion, I don't just mean energetically. I mean at all levels, but especially physically. It's allowing you to expand into some more space, even between, the atoms of your body. We're talking, at the very smallest cellular level. And the reason this is beneficial is because the more space, the more expansion, the faster you can heal. We tend to live our life in a very non-expansive way, in a very constricted way. A lot of our day is spent thinking about or watching something that brings us down, right? It brings down our energy level because it's something negative or what we would consider to be negative. And so then it's lowering our vibration and our frequency. When our energy level is functioning lower, that's when we are sickest. That's when we're going to hold on to things like anger, resentment, and maybe stay in a more depressed state. Now remember, I have talked about the fact that we don't want to ignore low vibrational emotions. There's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being scared. It's information. It can guide us on some next steps to take or on our healing journey. So it's not a problem to be angry. When it becomes a problem is when we can't let it go. It is going to become stored in our body and become a part of us. So as often as we can, we want to lean into love energy. Whether we are sending out that love energy by whether it's intention or by spending time with people that we love, or whether that's us receiving it. And again, you don't have to be around somebody to receive their love. You could simply think about them and bring to mind some memories that make you smile and make you feel good. You can pull up a favorite photo on your phone of a time or a person that it lights you up to revisit that memory. Spending time with your pets if you have them. That's definitely a way to experience some unconditional love. Let's switch gears now and talk about light. When we say love and light, what do we mean? I know as a fourth grade teacher that there are a ton of definitions for the word light because I used to have to teach context clues and multiple meaning words. I have seen that word in the dictionary. So there are a lot of ways that we could take the word light. And honestly, I think more than one meaning works for this phrase, love and light. When something doesn't weigh a lot or mass a lot, we call it light, right? There's less matter to it, which we can tie back to that expansiveness with love. But when you think about it, if something feels light, It feels easy. It allows you to flow. Another meaning for light would be basically the opposite of dark. So when we're wishing somebody well, normally we would want to wish them into the light, right? Not into the darkness. We can see in the light, so we feel safer in the light. We're more comfortable in the light. In the dark, when we can't see, it brings, sometimes fear because we're not sure what's out there, what's around us, what's lurking. Light feels more certain, which is definitely more comfortable, right, than the uncertainty of the dark. Maybe in the light we can see better. We can see our next step on our path. But again, I do want to throw out that there is nothing wrong with being in the dark. There's nothing wrong with exploring your darkness. A lot of people talk about shadow work. And I consider this to be the part of us, part of yourself that is waiting to be healed. It's not necessarily the evil part of us or a bad part of us. It's the part of us that we are afraid of or we're in denial about bringing forward into the light. So it has ended up in the dark. It has ended up in the shadows. And this can, again, inform our healing process. When you take the time to dig into the dark, yeah, it can be uncomfortable. I know. I've done it a lot. But it is sometimes necessary in order to determine, to dig into what is really holding you back, because most likely it's subconscious and you can't see it. It's not in the light. And so you're going to have to go into those dark parts of yourself to learn about what has been suppressed or maybe hidden even by you. So when someone is wishing you love and light, or they say they are working in love and light, they're basically wishing you expansion and clarity. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me and my reality, sometimes my expansion, sometimes my clarity comes from spending time in the fear or those other low vibrational emotions, and spending time in the dark and digging into what needs to surface in order to heal me and allow me to move forward. I'm grateful that came through today from my divine team. I hope it was helpful for you. If you ever have any questions about what I am relaying to you from my channeling, then feel free to reach out by email or messaging me. If you are interested in guidance or some one-to-one help on your healing journey or your spiritual path, I have multiple options available for you. So check out my website and you can find that information in the show notes. From my heart and soul to yours. Blessings.